Warden Noah Nagy, and Grievance Coordinator Tim Ryder. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, Bart. Appreciate us having us on.
Yeah, great to have you here. We're just talking about a regularly scheduled hiring event that you have at JC. It's every other Monday, I believe.
Yep, we have it every other Monday. We've been going out to Jackson College, probably the last couple of years now, or up to close to 2 years. We get on campus and get either in a lunchroom or somewhere on campus, and just out there visible, available to talk to anybody interested in learning about career and corrections. And as you know, we've been trying to be visible anywhere in the community as much as possible, but JC's been a great partner for us as far as working with us and getting folks out there and being able to reach as many people as possible. And then, we're getting ready to start our next academy April 28th, so we're looking for that. We don't have our final numbers yet as far as the number of folks that are hired, but with that coming up, and we just had a class graduate March 28th. We've got those folks on grounds right now as far as our on-the-job training. So a lot going on, and we'll start focusing once that April 28th academy hits. We'll start focusing on that July academy. So keep moving forward.
Right out of the academy, right to work.
Yep, right to work. So yeah, those folks that once you start the academy, you're working and you're getting paid, and it's an 8-week process at the academy. And then once you come to the facility, another 8 weeks on the job training. But that entire time you're getting paid. You're getting into the swing of things, learning the job, and then we transition, and you start your career with the Department of Corrections. And some folks get to some very special milestones working for the Michigan Department of Corrections.
Like your guest today, Tim Ryder. You are going to be celebrating an anniversary with MDOC. How many years?
Boy, I don't know, Bart. They tell me it's close to 40.
40 years on May 5th. Yeah. Happy anniversary. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Well, thank you.
So is that your whole career, your whole life at MDOC? Did you start?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. No, actually, I was with Kroger's before I transitioned into the department. So the MDOC would have been my second formal job in that respect. Kroger's was during high school, and then out of high school, and then DOC after
awesome.
that.
So grievance coordinator. So does like an inmate come to you and say, "Hey, my eggs were runny this morning, and I ordered them over hard"?
Well, in a matter of speaking, yes. I mean, they write their issues or their complaints. There's a form for it that they fill out, and then they submit that form. They do talk to the staff, the line staff, the officers, and the supervisors that are in the housing units. They try to talk to them first, and if a resolution can't be reached, then it goes into the formal process, and that's where I come in. Is on the formal end.
That's pretty interesting, because I would think that, as an inmate, that, you have a problem that's, too bad.
Oh, no, not at all. Their issues are looked into, they're looked at, they're heard. Mm-hmm. Their complaints are heard, and we strive to not have any complaints, of course, but we also strive to resolve, or at least give them an answer as to, why did that happen, or why is that going to happen, or something like that. So
keeps the peace and provides humane treatment.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And then, along with everything else, it keeps them informed as to the day-to-day happenings, and it also tells them that we do listen. We may not give you the answer that you want to hear, but we're going to give you an answer, and we are listening to what it is that you have to say. There again, they don't always agree with that. They don't always agree that we listen or that we heard anything, but we do. We hear, and so wherever in the facility that the complaint is or originates from. So,
nice.
Yeah.
So 40 plus years ago, you were at Kroger and you decided you wanted something that was more of a career. What was it about MDOC that got your interest?
Well, a lot of it was back in that time in the 80s, there wasn't a lot of hiring going on in the private sector as far as in some of the other career choices and career fields. And then, of course, there was always the stability of state employment in regards to the benefits that were offered, along with the unlike some of the other industries and stuff, that, you know, they're getting laid off wasn't really going to be an issue or a concern. So there again, in that mid 80s, the department were going through changes, and so there was quite a bit of hiring that was going on back then as well. So kind of looking at where I was at and where I was going, and 40 years later, here I am.
Awesome. So job security has got to be one of the selling points to MDOC career.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I mean, we talk about all the time. It's, you know, it's a situation where, you know, you get your foot in the door, and then you kind of learn what it is about the MDOC that's happening. You know, understand what our purpose is as a department, where you want to fall into that role. And you know, Tim's had an opportunity to work at several different places, and kind of, you know, see the department evolve over the years from, you know, mid 80s to now 2025. There's certainly been a lot of changes in direction and where we're going as a department. And you know, I think today, you know, you see all the growth of what we're doing with the individuals that we're working with, and how we've evolved into, you know, making sure that individuals have it, you know, when they're released. You know, we're having an opportunity to set those folks up for success. And like Tim talks about in his role is such a crucial piece to that. When you know, making sure that, you know, we're answering questions, we're you know, looking into concerns or issues that are reported to us, and it's not something that, you know, every one of those is important to all of us, and we want to make sure that we're resolving it. And you know, when you know, it was a situation where Tim took that from an officer position into his role now. You know, other folks look at other avenues, other folks stay in the correction officer position. But there's, you know, with the amount of jobs that are open, the security that Tim talked about, I mean, you can get in a career with the department and stick around for a very long time. You know.
Tim, grievance coordinator sounds like it's a very interesting job, probably a lot of variety, and probably, I would guess, rewarding. I would imagine there are some situations that you've solved and you've made someone's life better. Can you give us an example of a grievance that you were able to facilitate?
Well, probably one that comes to mind recently would be the prisoner's payroll. He is a unit porter, works his 5 days, and his pay wasn't correct. So checking into that, looking at, you know, did he actually do the work? Did he actually put in the hours? And was there a mistake made? So, and the resolution to that was, yeah, it was a typo, just a clerical error on the payroll sheets. So get that corrected and compensated the prisoner for the time that he should have been paid for. That would be kind of a minor one. There's a lot of different varieties. Mm-hmm. Remembering that prison is its own society, but it's got the same issues that citizens have in regards to, you know, things don't come on time. You know, there's pay issues. There's mail issues. You know, my mail isn't here, and a lot of that is not our control. A lot of that is the community and the postal service, or, you know, the UPS service, and all of those services getting behind, and just trying to let them know that you're not the only ones that are affected by this. Everybody in the community is affected by this. You know, COVID being a prime example, with the the supply shortages and stuff like that. You know, the prisoners wanted to say, you know, what is the department doing with our stuff? And it's like, well, we're not doing anything with it. You know, we're dealing with it such as you are, and as soon as we get it, you'll get it, sort of a thing. So,
Well, we appreciate your 40 years of service at MDOC, and we thank you both for coming in today.
Thank you for having us, Buck. Appreciate
If
it.
anyone is interested in being the next grievance coordinator when Tim retires eventually, or being a corrections officer or any of the other openings, just contact Noah and the team at MDOC. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Noah Nagy and Tim Ryder from Parnell Correctional Facility. Next on